Portland, Oregon, a city draped in mist and mystery, cradled between the Columbia and Willamette rivers and guarded by the snow-capped silhouette of Mount Hood. It's known for its bridges, bike trails, and brews, a haven of green ideals and artistic souls. But beneath the charm lies a shadowed heart, a city that's been burned, flooded, buried, and haunted by its own past. This is the story of Portland, where history doesn't rest quietly. Long before there was a city, there was water. Thousands of years ago, cataclysmic floods drowned the land beneath hundreds of feet of swirling currents. And when the waters receded, they left behind a fertile basin. For centuries, it was home to the Multnomah, the Chinook, the Clackamas, and others who lived along the river's edge. They fished these waters, told stories by firelight, and called this land home long before maps gave it a name. But with the arrival of settlers through the early 19th century came sickness, hunger, and loss. Entire communities vanished, leaving only echoes along the water. In 1845, two men, Asa Lovejoy and Francis Pettigrove, stood at the edge of this wilderness, arguing over what to call it, Boston or Portland. Heads, and Portland was born. By 1851, the frontier outpost became a city, but this was no peaceful pioneer village. Portland grew fast, and it grew wild. In 1873, fire consumed nearly 22 city blocks. Yamhill and Morrison streets turned to ash. The survivors rebuilt, but the city that rose from the smoke was rougher and far more dangerous. In 1889, the Oregonian would call Portland the most filthy city in the northern states. The stench of sewage mingled with the smell of whiskey. Beneath the laughter of saloons, there was something dark lurking below. Under the cobblestones of Old Town runs a hidden network, a maze of tunnels once connected to the docks. Men whispered that they were used for Shanghaiing, the abduction of sailors drugged and dragged into the dark, then shipped off to sea against their will. Historians debate on how often Shanghaiing actually took place, but the stories of violence, greed, and disappearances left their mark. The tunnels still breathe, damp, silent, and heavy with memory. Nature struck again in 1894. The Willamette River burst its banks, swallowing 250 city blocks. Homes were swept away, livestock drowned, and disease followed. Then came war. World War II transformed Portland into a shipbuilding powerhouse. Henry Kaiser's yards built the Liberty ships that would fuel victory, and with them came thousands of workers searching for hope. But not all found freedom. In 1942, over 3,000 residents of Japanese descent were rounded up and sent inland to internment camps. Families separated, homes lost, names erased from the city's memory. And in 1948, the city of Vanport, a wartime housing project home to 18,000 people, vanished in a single day when a levee broke. 15 dead, thousands homeless. In the decades that followed, Portland's underbelly thrived. By the 1950s, Life magazine exposed its gambling rings and corrupt officials, calling out the city's ties to organized crime. But even corruption can't hold a city still. By the 1960s, Portland was changing again. The counterculture took root. Artists, hippies, and activists arrived, reshaping the city's spirit. But with progress came pain. Racial injustice and police brutality sparked riots that left deep scars, ones the city still feels today. With so much loss, maybe it's no wonder the dead never really left. In the McMenamins' White Eagle Saloon, footsteps echo through empty halls. At Old Town Pizza, they whisper the name Nina, a murdered saloon girl whose perfume still drifts through the air. Under the arches of Cathedral Park, the spirit of Thelma Taylor, a 15-year-old murdered in 1949, is said to scream for help when the winds howl through the steel. And deep in the woods of Forest Park, the Witch's Castle stands, crumbling stone and creeping moss, where visitors swear they feel unseen eyes watching. Across the city, whispers persist. In coffee houses, old mansions, art studios, each one a fragment of Portland's restless soul. Today, Portland stands at a crossroads. Crime has fallen dramatically, the steepest drop in any major U.S. city. Yet homelessness, addiction, and rising costs cast long shadows across its streets. It's a city rebuilding, redefining, still wrestling with the ghosts of what it once was. Maybe that's what makes Portland, Portland, a place of contradictions. Beauty and decay, light and shadow, history and haunting. Which story should we uncover next? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow Melting Pot News. Because every city has a story, and every story has a shadow.